Hey guys. So today has just been one of those days where I am so frustrated because I'm trying to pay bills and I'm still going to come up short when I get paid later this week. I also have 2 holes in my roof and I had someone come assess them and to fix my roof and all the leaks and everything that's been going on and to caulk my windows because they're leaking too and all that good stuff. It's going to be like $500. So my mom, since it's one of her friends, she has decided to go ahead and like use that as part of my Christmas gift. And I told her like that's all I want for Christmas. Like I just want my home fixed. So the reason I'm making this is because I am so sick of the struggle. I worked so hard to get through LPN school and I really thought that making more than what I was making as a CNA would really help me, and it has. But with my school loans, like one payment is $255 a month and the other combined it's like $140, like I rounded. So Sallie Mae charges interest so bad and I just want to knock those loans out, and I also want to pay off my car because I'm sick and tired of paying my car payment. But I just don't make enough money to pay all of my bills and put food on my table and like buy my cats food and do everything that I need to do. And I really didn't want to resort to getting a second job because I thought, okay, I finally have a degree. I'm going to be able to make decent money and take care of myself, and that's not the case at all. And I'm not even living outside of my means. I live in a trailer inside of a trailer park, and I've been debating on making a video on telling you guys like where I live. My rent is $600 a month and that's with water included, and it's like well water, so when I wash my whites I have to use like iron or something along those lines because if I don't my clothes will turn like a rusty ugly orange yellow color. I drive a Honda Civic. It's not a Ferrari, it's not a Lexus, it's not a Maserati or a Mercedes. It's a Honda Civic 2010 that I got because my car before that I was hit by a drunk driver on Christmas Eve and it was totaled, and that car was paid for. It was an old car. It was like 15 years old. So I've never lived outside of my means. Yeah, I could have got a junker off of Craigslist, but I would still be paying all this money in parts and maintenance on that older car. So I thought it would be smart of me to invest in a newly used car. And the car has been great. It gets me from point A to point B. It got me to school. It got me to work. It still gets me to work. And that's all I need. I don't need anything fancy. I haven't bought new clothes since high school, and I graduated 7 years ago. I mean, yeah, occasionally me and my mom will go to like thrift stores and I'll pick up a shirt for like $3. Cool. Like, I would love to be able to buy like a Michael Kors bag. I would love to be able to buy a new Vera Bradley lunchbox, but all those things are outside of my means right now because I can't even afford to buy freaking groceries to put on my table. So, like, I'm just to the point where I'm so sick and tired of struggling, and every time I check my mail, I have bills coming in from here, from there. I had to pay my gas bill because they filled my gas tanks because I have a gas stove, and that was $133. Like, that $133 I could have put towards my car payment, or I could have put towards groceries, or I could have bought my car a new windshield. Like, I am so sick and tired of this that I have contemplated numerous times selling everything that I own and just living inside of my car. Like, I don't know how that would work out with me and my cat, like, but I can't do it anymore. And my mom has offered for me to like move back in because I would save automatically $600 a month because of rent. But like, I love being on my own and I love having my freedom to come and go as I please and have my own place and have whoever I want over, like stuff like that. But at the same time, my mom is totally right. Like, I would save $600 a month, and that $600 I could just put straight towards my car, pay off my car, and then start paying off my debt. It would also be easier for me to like pay off my community college and eventually go back to community college. So I'm at a toss-up and I don't know like where I want my life to go from here. I don't know exactly like what I want to do. Like, when my mom threw that suggestion out, I really did start contemplating that too. I wouldn't literally sell all of my items and move into my car. That's crazy. But like, I have thought about moving back in with my mom, even though I told her when I moved out that once I leave the nest, this little chick will not be returning to the nest, but it just makes sense for me to live with my mom. And like, just thinking about other situations that I've seen other people in, this is why so many families live together in one home, like one apartment, one house, whatever. This is why people live with multiple people to contribute to the bills, because they half it or divide it by 4, and then it's less stress, financial burden on those people because they're just halving all the bills and just sharing it with people. So like, it totally makes sense why so many people live in one house under one roof and take care of each other, and I think that's great. And like, if I didn't have so many leaks in my house, like, of course they're gonna get fixed eventually, and if I didn't have so much crap in my spare bedroom, I would totally contemplate getting a roommate, someone I could trust, because I'm like really weird about that. But like, I just want to pay off my car, and I want to pay off my loans. And the other night when I heard that somebody had won like that 750 million jackpot or whatever, like, they have no idea how incredibly grateful and lucky they are and should be. Like, I don't even want that much. If I just won $50,000, I would poop my pants. Like, first of all, I would pay off my car, then I would pay off most of my school debt, and then I would pay off community college to go back to school, even though I'm going to be in even more debt. And that's another thing I've been contemplating. Like, do I even really want to go back for my bachelor's, even though I said I wanted to? Because I'm just going to be in debt again, and I'm going to be stressed out going from class to work and doing homework and doing projects and then going to clinical if I ever get accepted into the BSN program. So I don't know if today is just one of those days where my anxiety is kind of like taking over, but I don't want to struggle like this anymore, and I really didn't want to have to get a second job, but I think it's just to that point where I have to get one to start paying stuff off, or else I'm just going to constantly keep drowning. And like, as a new nurse, you have to expect not to make what you think you're going to make, and like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm over it. And I'm just so stressed out, and I'm so tired of having to pay bills, and I don't get to enjoy my paychecks, and I don't get to like buy my parents nice things or take myself to get a pedicure because my feet are disgusting, and I can't take care of myself because I'm too busy working, or I'm too busy stressing or spending all of my money on bills instead of my health. And I'm just over it. I'm really just over it. Like, I finally overcame like my depression phase where I was depressed about it, because the thing about me is I've worked so hard for everything that I have, and I'm so proud of myself for doing that. So being depressed about my situation, isn't going to make my situation any better. So I've kind of just accepted the fact that no matter how hard I work, no matter how many hours I pull, no matter how much money I make an hour, it's always going to be going to my bills until some of my crap gets paid off. And that's perfectly fine. Most people my age that are newly out of college are in the struggle, and the struggle is real. And I just have to keep telling myself that this is temporary. This isn't a permanent situation. Like, eventually I'm going to be making enough money to sustain myself and pay my bills, enjoy myself, save up for a vacation, save up for whatever I want, be able to go into the Vera Bradley store and buy that brand new lunchbox I want, or that brand new crossbody bag that I want, and just really enjoy my life and enjoy my paycheck. It's not always going to be like this, and I know this is probably just one of those days where all of my bills are just overwhelming me and really getting to me, but right now I've just had it up to here, and I'm completely done. I'm so overwhelmed, and I've been looking for second jobs, like at nursing homes, every weekend or every other weekend, and I'm hoping to hear something back. There are 2 LPNs in my nursing program now. That's good. So, yeah. As an LPN, starting out, you don't expect to like make a whole bunch of money, because it's not going to happen. especially at a doctor's office. That's where I am. I primarily like working at the doctor's office because I don't have to work every weekend. I get holidays off, and that's like the type of schedule I like. I don't like working on weekends because I like having that standard 9 to 5. Just so I have weekends to like catch up on laundry or go on a small trip or just spend time with friends and family. And sometimes like nursing homes in my area don't pay nurses what they deserve, and they're just always understaffed. Yeah, I won't delete this video. I'll keep it up. Because I know that like some people like to go back and watch it. I wasn't saving them at first and like uploading them, but now I do, just because I know that some people can't watch them all the time. So I'm not going to delete this. I'll definitely post it so that whoever needs to go back and watch, you can. I don't really have any new content for you guys. I don't know what else I want to do a video on. Definitely if I plan on going back for my bachelor's, I will of course document that journey like I did my LPN journey. I'll even document like my community college journey doing my prerequisites for my BSN. Oh yeah, I won't delete it. I'll just keep it, so you don't have to worry about me deleting it. I won't. I hope work is going great for you. It stinks that you have to work on a Sunday. But, you know, being an LPN, a lot of people joke around about LPN standing for low paying nurse. And primarily when you're starting out, you are going to be a low paid nurse, regardless of where you go, because you're new in the field. You don't have any experience under your belt. So once you start getting experience and they do like your eval, and after a year, wherever you've been, you know, you'll get a pay raise. So you just got to stick it out. And you have to remember that the number one reason you're becoming a nurse is to help others. It's not to make bank. It's not to get a paycheck. Yeah, of course. So you don't want to just nurse because you want the money. Like, yeah, the money is a great aspect of the career and you're always going to be needed somewhere, but you want to take care of people. That's the whole reason you're becoming a nurse, is to nurse people back to health, or to help manage their health and keep them healthy. Back to school for my bachelor's, Science of Nursing, RN, BSN. The college that I want to get into around my area requires like a lot of prerequisites, but I currently owe my community college like $700 some. So I have to pay that off, and then I have to reapply to the school because I've been out for more than 3 years, retake the admission test, and then see where I place and see if I have to take any like remedial math classes, because I'm horrible at math. But that's what I wanted to go back for. But now that I am currently going through this little meltdown of financial hardships, it's debatable. Like, I know that I'm only 25 years old, but sometimes I feel like I'm much older because of my maturity, and I feel like I just don't have enough time in my life to get everything done that I want to get done. And everyone keeps telling me like, you need to slow down, you're doing great for your age, you're very mature, blah blah blah. But so part of me just wishes I would have like went straight through and just did BSN, but I didn't test into math like that, so it just wouldn't have happened. Remy, what are you doing? Yeah, don't get up there. So I'm going to try and do scholarships. I'm also going to try and get some grants and loans, like Pell Grants from the FAFSA. Yeah, get down. No, get down. Sorry. What are you doing? You want to say hi? Say hi. Look how big I am. You're just a big old baby. Look, what are you, shy? Alright, so yeah, I'm definitely going to try and get scholarships and grants and all kinds of stuff, because the more help, the better. But it has always been my dream goal to have my bachelor's and work like at a hospital. Yeah, it's 12-hour shifts, but I feel like I would rather knock out 12-hour shifts instead of work every day of the week except Saturday or Sunday, or every other weekend. You just have to expect, as being a nurse, you're going to be tired, you're going to be exhausted, whether you're working in a doctor's office, whether you're working at a hospital, a nursing home, long-term care, rehab, whatever. you're going to be tired because you're constantly going to be working hard to take care of the people and the patients that are coming through the door. You're driving me nuts. So it's all a matter of how hard you work. And, you know, there's people that I work with that don't work to their full potential and try to really make sure that the patients and their families are happy or whatever. But me, I work so hard that by the time I get home from like my 7.5 hour shift, because I get a 30-minute lunch, I'll get home and it feels like I worked 12 hours. My feet hurt, my back hurts, I'm exhausted. I'm extremely exhausted, especially on a Monday, and that's because I just work really hard to my full potential to make sure that my job is done correctly, that the patient knows that they have established a relationship with me to where they can talk to me about anything, and that I am there for them. I'm there to help you. I want to keep your health in check, and I want you to keep coming back to us, because without you, I wouldn't have a job. And I really feel like, you know, when facilities do like in-services or continuing education type meetings and stuff, we have staff meetings a lot. I feel like they should teach like customer service to some people that work at facilities, because sometimes the way that people I work with talk to other people, even other nurses, it's just rude. Like, yeah, I'll play around sometimes, be like, hey girl, what you doing? And then, you know, if a customer comes, or if a patient comes around, I'll be like, oh, hi, how are you? Are you having any concerns today? Do you have any other issues that you want to discuss with the doctor? Like, I always try to let the patient know that I'm there for them. And sometimes the way that other nurses that I work with talk to them, I just want to be like, did you really just talk to them like that? Like, that is so rude. But to each their own. I try to stay out of it. But yeah, I'm running out of content for you guys. I don't know what other type of video I should do. If you guys have any suggestions, please feel free to like tell me. And I know I keep telling you guys I want to do a giveaway because I have so many subscribers now and I'm so grateful for you guys. But times are so tight right now, and that gives me a little bit more time to think about what I'm going to do with the giveaway, like what I'm going to put in it. So if you have any suggestions for that, I will take them as well. But I love doing live videos for you guys and answering your questions live. What? Yeah? My son is so needy. A Dollar Tree haul, yes. As soon as I can afford to go to the Dollar Tree and find some things that I need and want, I plan on it. I watch another lady that always does Dollar Tree hauls, and they have like these coconut chip things in the snack section that I want to try, and they have like the veggie straws now, so I really want to go there and like try to find those because they look really good, and she did a review on them and she said that they are delicious, so I really want to try those. What? You are driving me insane today. Yeah. Get down. Do you want to say hi to everybody? Say hi. Say hi. Get down. What are you doing? My cat. He's so cute. He's a year old now. I can't believe it. I feel like time is flying with him. I know. Oh, walk right in front of the camera. So yeah, that's about it. I'm getting ready to start some laundry and get ready for the work week. I start working with my new provider that requested me tomorrow. He does intake sheets, and he also likes to have his patient's most recent mammogram and bone density scan. So that's a lot of paper. It's a lot of writing, but he's very respectful, and he like appreciates all the work that his nurses does for him. So for him to request me, everyone's like, that's like an honor, because he's on like the board of gynecology and stuff. So I am honored that he requested me. I feel really well respected for that. I feel like my hard work at my current job has paid off because he wants me. So yeah. You've been reading all day. What have you been reading? I haven't had time to read in a while. I used to love reading like Crank and Glass, and one of my favorite books is Go Ask Alice, and of course I love Nicholas Sparks, like all of his books, and I like reading his books and then watching the movies to see like what's different and which one's better, the book or the movie. But that's another reason like why I miss school so much. I miss doing homework. I miss learning, and I miss doing like projects. I've never been really like a group project type of person because sometimes people in the group don't really pull their weight. But I think after this little mini meltdown I'm having goes away. Nursing Fundamentals textbook. So, the Nursing Fundamentals textbook is, I don't know if your book is similar to mine, but that class, Nursing Fundamentals, is pretty much how you learn to take care of the patient. Like chapter 30 pages. So in our Nursing Fundamentals textbook, it pretty much taught you how to take care of the patient, like move them from the bed to the wheelchair, place them on a bedpan, feed them, do nail care. I don't know if that's like the same type of book you're doing. And it also, like, I think in Nursing Fundamentals 2, that's when we started learning how to do like Foley catheters and bolus feedings and stuff. And Nursing Fundamentals was one of the first actual nursing classes that we had to do in my program, and it was fairly easy for me because I was already a CNA and I already knew like how to transfer people from a wheelchair, how to feed people, how to bathe them, how to give bed baths, you know, all that, because being a CNA, primarily you are the caregiver and that's what you do all day long for them. So Nursing Fundamentals was fairly easy for me. What chapter are you reading on? Like, what are you reading about? What is it teaching you in that chapter that you're reading? And you also, like, when you're in nursing school, you're going to have classes that you absolutely love and it clicks with you, and you're going to have classes where you're just like, oh my gosh, I can't stand this. Like, for me, I loved learning oncology, but I hated GIGU because, especially gastrointestinal, because there's diverticulitis, and diverticulosis, and we had to learn like all the 3 differences of those and all of the gastrointestinal tract diseases, and it was just, there's so much out there. And especially now, like, if those textbooks were to be updated that I have, whole new world. And that's primarily like when I was job searching, I didn't want to work for like a GU clinic or like any type of doctor's office like that because I just don't like it. Skin integrity and wound care. Yes. So I love wound care. When you start your clinicals, when you go to like long-term care facilities, that's primarily where you're going to see a bunch of wounds because they are laying in bed all day, and if the caregivers aren't turning them every 2 hours and keeping pressure off their heels, especially in their hips, because that's where their skin breaks down, and on their sacral area, like their sacrum above their butt, that's where their skin breaks down the most. And like, I remember going to one facility during our clinical, and this lady had like a stage 3 wound. I love giving assessments. So a quick tip, when you go into your clinical rotation and you actually start taking care of your patient, it's easy to do your physical assessment while you're bed bathing them in the morning or in the evening whenever you have your clinicals. So like, it's so easy to do your head to toe assessment when you're bathing because obviously you're washing their skin. So if you see a skin tear above their elbow, or you notice that there's cuts on their arms, because a lot of geriatric patients, especially that have psych issues, will scratch or dig, and they'll have scratches all over them. So you can assess and say that they have scratches on their left forearm or on the top of their thighs. That's primarily where I saw scratches on some of my patients when I was in clinical. And preventing infection, you know, you always want to wash hands with soap and water. You always want to wear clean gloves. And anytime you have a sterile procedure, you always want to make sure that you have sterile gloves. You don't want to use just regular gloves, and you don't want to use the same gloves for certain things. And like for me, when I was bathing my patients, I know I probably would get in trouble for this, but like, you know, they would tell us to use like 1 or 2 rags, like one rag for the face and like the upper body, and then another rag for the bottom half. I would grab like 3, 4, or 5 rags, and I know I would use 1 rag just for their peri area and buttocks and like that area, and then I would use a separate rag for their feet because your feet are gross. Your feet touch the floor, your feet have socks on them and they get sweaty, and then I would use another rag for like just their face. And like, I know when I was a CNA, people would use a rag to like wipe up feces and like put it in the bag to go off to the cleaner. And I'm like, why would you do that? Like, I would throw my rags away, because if you wipe someone's anus that had feces all over it and it goes to the cleaner, they sterilize it supposedly, and then it comes back, that's like you using a washcloth in your own home to wipe your butt and then wipe your face. Do you do that? Like, that's how I think of things. So that's why I grabbed so many rags and so many towels, because I wanted them to be super clean. I wanted them to smell good. You always want to give them lotion after you bathe them so that it soaks into their skin and it's not dry. And the number one thing I remember from bed baths and bathing is to dry their feet really well, because, you know, fungus can grow, and if they're diabetic, you definitely don't want them getting fungus or having moisture on their feet, because if they get a sore, they could end up losing that toe or that foot. So you definitely want to keep that really clean. But physical assessments, like, that was so cool for us, because we finally started using like the pin light and assessing their eyes, making sure that they had perla and all of that, and making sure their sclera was white, not, you know, red or pink, no busted blood vessels or any drainage in their eyes. And it was just really fun. Nursing fundamentals for me was just so fun, because I was already a CNA and I felt like I was at work all the time. So it was great. And then when we went to like long-term care facilities, I got to, you know, work with geriatrics, which I already worked with geriatric patients, so I love geriatrics still. And I'll probably end up there again someday down the road. I want to stick it out where I'm at for a little bit and just see where that goes. There's not really many places for advancement where I'm currently at, so I'll always be a nurse, but I just want to see where it takes me and just stay here until I really find like what I want to do. You know, if I really want to go back to a nursing home, or if I want to do wound care when I get my RN eventually, you know, stuff like that. I just really want to think about it. So I'm done rambling. I just wanted to check in with you guys and really rant, because it's just driving me crazy. I'm so sick and tired of struggling. But nursing, like I always say, is a work of heart, and you really have to love what you do, and you have to just stick it out. And, you know, even though we might not get the best pay we think we deserve, we're there for those patients, and they appreciate us most of the time. You know, sometimes you will get a rude patient every now and then, but 99% of the time they're going to appreciate you no matter what you're doing for them, even if it's just a simple band-aid over a cut or a little blood stick to check their blood glucose. You know, whatever you're doing, they really do appreciate it. So just remember why you got into nursing, and that you're there to care for people. You're not there for the pay primarily. And during nursing school, you just have to make the best of every situation. Some days at clinical it's going to be great, other days it's going to suck, and you just have to embrace the suck and get it over with, because you're there, you're paying for it, and you still have to pass that mod regardless. So as always, I'm here for you guys if you have any nursing school questions and any other video suggestions. You know, you can always ask me, or feel free to tell me. And I'm going to post this because I have a couple people that were at work and they want to watch it. So I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your Sunday, and I'll make a new video for you guys soon.